Greetings from Glacier National Park. Getting an early start today.
It's 6:30 a.m. starting off on the Highline Trail.
Got about 14 and a half miles ahead of us today.
It's always been a bucket list item of mine. I've climbed a lot of peaks in the park, but never done the Highline.
It's going to be a beautiful one. Can't wait.
I grew up just outside Glacier National Park, so this is a special place for me. I worked in the park during the summer in high school, and I spent a fair amount of time on backcountry trails and even climbed a couple peaks. The Highline Trail is a family-friendly hike, but it's considered difficult because of its near 15-mile length. You can go as far as you want from the visitor center at Logan Pass and then turn around and go back the way you came. If you're like us and want to do the entire thing down to the Loop trailhead, including visiting the world-famous Granite Park Chalet, you'll need 2 cars and be prepared to hike almost 15 miles. Smells good.
Yeah, it's fresh. There's a little chill to the air, just enough.
Feels great right here.
Yeah, this is a really nice little pocket. Too bad it's smoky. Not very good visibility, because that would be epic with the sun just coming up on those mountains over there. Yeah. So far the hike's been pretty easy. It's been pretty flat. We're just about ready to go up our first ascent. It's where we were a few minutes ago. We really climbed. We're heading up here.
Sun is peeking its head between that notch. That's really cool.
Hey guys, Eric and Jamie here, and we know you're here to watch the Highline hike video, but we have something really exciting that we wanted to share with you, so we're going to be really quick.
Have you guys ever heard of a Misogi? Well, as of about just a few weeks ago, we hadn't heard of a Misogi either. We learned about it in this book by Michael Easter called The Comfort Crisis, and it was life-changing. A Misogi is a Japanese ritual practice of purification. In the book, Michael Easter uses the term Misogi to describe any challenging or transformative experience that pushes someone to their limits, helping them break through personal boundaries and achieve new growth. This can be a physically demanding experience, a difficult athletic challenge, or really anything that you set your mind to.
So when we read this book, we were inspired because we love to try hard things. So this was right up our alley, and we decided that we are going to do a Misogi. And our Misogi is
the Grand Canyon Rim to Rim Trail.
This is a grueling hike. It's over 24 miles long. You descend 6,000 vertical feet into the canyon. And the challenge with this hike, the thing that makes it so different, is the ascent happens at the end. So after you've already hiked about 16 miles, you hike up for 8 miles. And we have to accomplish it in one full day because we don't have a permit.
I think it's one of the hardest day hikes in the United States.
I'm nervous. I'm scared. I don't know. I've never done a hike this long before. And in fact, I've never done a 14-mile hike before, which is what we're going to do with the Highline Trail. We hope that you will join us on our adventure. We're going to show a series of videos as we prepare for this hike and hopefully accomplish our Misogi.
Hopefully we survive. Stay tuned and find out if we will.
And if you want to be inspired too and want to get a copy of this book, the link is in the description below, and we'd love to hear about it. If you read this book and decide to do a Misogi, let us know. Drop a note in our comments and tell us what you're going to do.
All right. Good luck, and let's get on to the adventure. All right, we're heading up the Garden Wall Trail to the Grinnell Glacier Overlook. We're going to get some serious elevation gain here. Just left the Highline Trail. Been hiking for 3 hours and 20 minutes, including breaks. Got a little over 7 miles. And here we go. Up and up and up. Hopefully we can have something to see besides just smoke.
Up to this point, everything had felt relatively easy, but that changed the moment we hit the Overlook Trail. Climbing nearly 1,000 feet in under a mile, I felt every single step. One thing's for sure, I'll need to step up my training before attempting rim to rim.
Although I wouldn't consider myself a long-distance endurance hiker, one of my favorite activities is summiting peaks. If you'd like to see a somewhat grueling glacier hike we took a couple summers ago to the summit of iconic Reynolds Mountain, click the link in the top right or the description below. It's a much more technical trail than the Highline Trail, and I wouldn't recommend it for the casual day hiker without experience. Most people who watch the video tell me they start sweating from nervous tension due to the exposure. However, hiking to the Grinnell Glacier Overlook should be doable for most people with the proper gear and rest breaks along the way if needed. We made it to the saddle overlooking Grinnell Glacier and Iceberg Lake. We hiked up to Iceberg Lake probably about 6 or 7 years ago. You can see that water is just crystal clear and blue, iceberg blue. Probably can't see it on the camera, but there are people down there at the edge of that lake. It's about a 10-mile hike. They look like little ants there on the shoreline.
There's the Granite Park Chalet. We're going to head over there and check it out. We're heading over to the chalet up there. We've got 0.8 miles to get there, and it's uphill the whole way. We made it to the chalet. There were some bear attacks here years ago. People were killed and we've read about it. So now we're here seeing it where it happened in person.
Behind me is the Granite Park Chalet in Glacier National Park, and home of the Night of the Grizzlies. I think it was back in 1967 or so. It's kind of an infamous story about an old grizzly bear that was feeding off of the garbage dump that they used to dump trash back behind the chalet, and it got used to human food, and one day it attacked and killed someone right here.
All right, we've just got 4 miles to go. We're heading to the Sun Road Loop where we have our car waiting for us.
I wore my trusty Solomons for this hike, shoes I've relied on for years. They've been fantastic, but this time my feet took a real beating. I realized it's time to retire them and invest in a new pair, especially with all the miles we'll be logging to prepare for rim to rim.
I was also wearing my trusty Solomons, but my feet had swollen and were hitting the toe box with every downhill step. Some people may call me weird, but I actually prefer hiking uphill versus downhill all day long. Downhill hiking really beats up my feet, and I was feeling it on this trail. Even my knees were starting to complain. The last 4 miles downhill to the Sun Road was a killer, and I knew that if I wanted to conquer my personal Misogi, the Grand Canyon rim to rim, I'd have to find a better solution for my feet.
We did it. We finished 14.5 miles. And after over 35,000 steps, my feet need a little love, so I'm going to go pamper them right now. With our first training hike for our Misogi in the books, Eric, how do you feel?
Well, that was tougher than I thought, distance-wise. It wasn't physically demanding per se, it was my feet. Toward the last 3 or 4 miles, my feet were just screaming. So I've got to find a solution for my feet. What about for you?
Yeah, I definitely agree. At the end, I could feel every single rock on the trail, and my feet just felt completely destroyed. So we'll definitely need to look into some new shoes. I also don't think I could have done another 10 miles. We're going to need to do some long distance training.
We do a lot of 5 to 10 mile hikes and we do a lot of peaks, but the long distance is what I'm not used to. And the other thing to consider is that we only climbed about 2,900 vertical feet over almost 15 miles, which is not that bad. On the Grand Canyon rim to rim, we would have another 2,500 feet to go and another 10 miles. So that puts it into perspective. I don't think we're quite ready yet.
Yeah, but we've got a good start. So I'm happy with where we're
We
at,
do.
but we definitely need to make some progress. So let's get out there. Let's get some more miles under our belt and get this Misogi going.
Let's do it. I think the next trip we're planning is Mount Timpanogos in Utah, right?
Yeah, 14 and a half miles, but a lot more vert. So
Yeah.
this will start helping us train for that vertical that we need. Hopefully we'll see you all on the next hike, and hopefully you will get out there and start planning your Misogi too. Thanks, guys.
Stay tuned for the next video.